Well, hey everybody, I'm John Ritlin with a real honest rant with my thoughts on the all-out fallout. Some of this stuff I briefly discussed in my review with the Durbinator. If you have not seen that review, by the way, the link is up here somewhere in that area, or I don't know. It's somewhere up there, so please click on that after you watch this video, of course, or click there, go to it, and then come back to this video, because it's kind of a companion piece. With this, I'm going to, flesh out a few more things that I talked about in the all-out review. Mainly some stuff to piss me off, but also some stuff that I want to praise. Because there was some good shit. But 4 shows in, you had Double or Nothing, Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, now All Out. 4 shows. There's been some great shit. There's been some questionable shit. And there's been some really, really, really bad shit. And if I'm going to criticize WWE for the same things, I have to criticize AEW as well. Even though AEW is a company that is just starting up and everything, and seemingly starting from scratch, even though they got a billionaire funding it, a billionaire family at least. The whole point is, this is just going to be me stating my opinions. If you guys have different opinions, that's cool. Share them in the comments. Would love to hear them. I'm not trying to say your opinions are wrong, because they aren't. My opinions aren't any more right than anyone else's. Your opinions aren't any more right than mine. We just have different opinions, have different views on things. That's all I wanted to say right there. So, start off on a bit of a somber note, though. Smiling Kylie Rae and AEW have apparently parted ways. Now, who knows what the reasons are? There are a variety of reasons and speculations. Speculations. Could be medical issues, mental health issues. She could just need some time away. There could be a whole, maybe she didn't want to be in wrestling anymore. Who knows what the reasons are? I don't know. She deleted her Twitter and her Facebook accounts. Has now posted on her Instagram account. I went to make sure to check, because I was like, okay, wait, let me see if she's still posting there. Hasn't posted on Instagram in over a month, about 5 weeks. So who knows what the reasons are? I don't know. And those are only speculations that I want to throw up because they're possibilities. Whatever the reasons are, hopefully Kylie Rae can find peace in her life however she needs to. If she's struggling with anything, hopefully she has family and friends that can be there for her. And whatever issues she may or may not have, hopefully she can get everything right. My thoughts, well wishes are with Kylie Rae, Smiling Kylie Rae. I was very impressed with the stuff she did, Double or Nothing. Was hoping to see more of her. But whatever she needs to do to have a better life, to have a life that she loves, that's what's most important. So let's be respectful of that. So that's all I got to say right there. Now, I love how I say you got to be respectful of her, and I'm probably going to be pretty harsh about some things coming up here. But the women's division, these are my thoughts on it. 1, Riho and Hikaru Shida are pretty goddamn good. I thought that they had put on a fabulous match, even though the crowd wasn't so into it. And I was a bit shocked that Hikaru Shida didn't win, even though I understood. I get it. I get it, but we all have favorites. I'm not dogging the match at all. Then you get to the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal happened earlier in the night. Nyla Rose won. I want to make it clear. If you guys want to have a different opinion, if you guys don't care for Nyla Rose because you don't like her ability in the ring, cool. Okay. You don't think she's all that good. Whether I agree or not does not matter. I'm not trying to change your opinions. I think she can get better. I admit that there is time to build her up. And I had not been familiar with her since before, the first All Elite Wrestling show. And I'm a fan of her. I think she can get better. I think she can be a dominant monster heel, just based on her striking look and, the fact that she is bigger than many of the women there. And that's not a knock. It's just true in physical stature. Take a look. The one thing I won't accept, though, is transphobic comments in the comments on my videos. You're going to do that? No. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, please. I have my own, I have tons of things I joke about, tons of things I talk about. There are certain things I'm going to draw the line on, though. And you can check my Twitter. I don't draw the line on very many things, but you want to be that way, just don't. Just do not comment, please. Just do not. Because if you comment that kind of stuff, you can have different opinions. You cannot think her work's all that good. But if you're going to make transphobic stuff, I'm going to have to ban you. I'm going to have to. Sorry. And I'm not going to stand for that. No other channel should stand for that. Let's be more accepting or whatever. But again, if her in-ring work is what turns you off from her, if you don't think she's all that good because of that, cool. I had no problem with Nyla Rose winning because they had built up the story between her and Riho, and it sort of makes sense. Now, I was hoping that Britt Baker might have won because then I would have been tied in the predictions with the Derb, but he actually won the predictions because we disagreed on 2 matches and he won both of them. But Britt Baker's somebody they're going to build around. I'm very, very happy and would love to see AEW push Nyla as somebody, as long as Nyla's ready as far as in-ring ability, I would love to see them push her and show, hey, we are all about being an alternative and pushing women as a main feature, as a main focal point of our promotion. And Impact did it for years and years with their Knockouts division. I'm not trying to say that other companies haven't done it. WWE, well, I mean, the women had to fight and claw pretty much for most of it. But with AEW, I think their women's division is pretty stacked. Now, is there room to improve? Of course. I love Yuka Sakazaki, the Genie Girl. I love her. I think she's great. I think there are a lot of women that they have that could work pretty damn well. This Battle Royal was pretty impressive. I think the women's division looks pretty goddamn bright. And Nyla Rose winning, super happy for her. Very, very happy for her. I've become a fan of her in a very short time and really hope some big things are on the horizon for her, as I feel she can be one of the top stars in AEW. May take some time. It takes time with everybody. But I think it can work for her. And now, we're going to go to the tag division, because the tag division is pretty goddamn stacked as well. I do want to say one more thing about the women's division. Do not have Brandy wrestle, please. Just don't have Brandy wrestle. Tag division, looking stacked. Pretty goddamn stacked. Lucha Bros, Best Friends, Private Party, SCU, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. And Helico and Jack Evans are pretty goddamn good. There is a lot of really, really good teams, except for the Dark Order. I'm sorry, this is where I'm going to knock. I have nothing. I don't even remember the bald guy's name. The one guy that could be shirtless and pull off the look. Not Evil Uno, the one that shouldn't be, shirtless and look. I get it. Different body types. That's all good and everything. You got to actually look like you're a trained athlete. If you don't look like you're a trained athlete, no. And I said the same thing about, wrestling from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Just sometimes you got to do some cover up. You just do. But the Dark Order, I'm also just not sold on the gimmick. I'm just not. I don't think that they're all that good. Of course, you got the Young Bucks also in the tag division as well. So there's plenty of tag teams out there, and they got LAX. LAX is going to be there, which I think that's great for them. Santana and Ortiz, I believe. Forgive me if I forgot the names. I don't keep up on as much of New Impact as I would like. They may be signing other teams. There's a lot of really good shit. They're focusing on tag team wrestling, which is a good idea. And it's a good idea because tag team wrestling has fallen on its ass in WWE through no fault of the talents that are there. AEW, that's something that can set AEW apart. Now, I'm not saying that AEW has done everything perfect. Don't worry, I'm going to get to some of this bullshit here in a bit. But I'm happy that they're focusing on tag team wrestling, because I love tag team wrestling. And when done right, it can present so many great opportunities to tell some great stories and have the right pairings and have a whole lot of fun. You could put on a terrific match. Private Party is so goddamn over and so goddamn good. And Helico and Jack Evans, all the teams that I mentioned, except the Dark Order. Even the Bucks. When the Bucks actually want to, tell a story and not just do flippy-doo-dah shit and all that, and do a super kick party, or super kick fiesta as they called it, because they're culturally sensitive. Now, I'm kidding. I don't actually think the Bucks are that bad. I just had to say that. But hey, you got to see the Bucks live at the Defy Northwest Wrestling Show when they actually just showed up out of the blue, unannounced. And I'm like, oh. And I didn't have a clue because I couldn't check the Bucks' Twitter because they both blocked me, but whatever. That being said, blocking aside, really besides the Dark Order, you got plenty of teams here that can really build a tag division here, and I'm very happy they're doing their a tag team tournament. They're going to start, I believe, on the 2nd, and they're just going to keep building and building, because they don't have a show now for about a month. That's going to be tough for them to do. Now, it gives them a chance to set everything right. They're selling well on their TV. I don't know if they sold out everything. I think it sold out the first 3 weeks of TV that they've done. I don't know if they sold out everything. Sometimes you can't have TV way in advance because then some people may not know what they exactly are going to get. But tag division, looking pretty goddamn stacked. Let me know what you guys think of the AEW tag division. And, well, here we go. Briefly, I'm going to mention, because I'm going to do an unpopular opinion on him at some point. Get Jim Ross off of commentary, or use him as a special attraction. Please, just for the love of God, Father Time waits for nobody. And it's not just him, it's plenty of... Get JR off of commentary. Just for the love of fucking Christ. I'm sorry. I respect the hell out of him, but just no. It's not... Use him as an attraction. Use him for some matches, like a Cody match or something like that. Nothing where he doesn't know the names of any goddamn people because he sounds clueless and doesn't give a shit about learning any of this stuff. But I'll save that for another rant that I do. But another. So looking at like all the stuff, one, I'm going to point out the Cracker Barrel match. I like Jimmy Havoc. I do. I've met Jimmy Havoc. Nice guy. I don't necessarily like the deathmatch shit, the stuff with the tax and that kind of stuff. Something he likes, it works for him, okay, whatever. I ain't got nothing against Jimmy Havoc. May not care for the deathmatch style, but it is what it is. Darby Allin, met Darby Allin several times. Guy's absolutely awesome. He's insane. He won't be walking by the time he's 35. And if any of the wrestlers happen to be watching this, especially if Darby, I mean, I doubt it. I don't think Darby would ever watch this. Darby, I love you, but I'm worried about how you do things. I'm worried about how you take bumps. Hey, it's worked for you. I really don't want to see you get hurt. I really don't. But then we get to Joey Janela, and this is where I'm going to be a little harsh. I don't get it with Joey Janela. I just don't. I don't get the appeal. I do not get the fucking appeal at all. I saw him at an indie show I think it was like just over a month ago, end of July. I mean, he did an entrance like Sandman where he's drinking White Claws and that kind of stuff, and it was cool to see enter Sandman. The instant he got in the ring, once the bell rang, well, that was pretty much it. Look, I don't think he's a mean guy. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I don't. I actually heard he's quite nice to his fans. Apparently, he was very nice to everybody at the meet and greet. Apparently, he was super nice. That's great. He doesn't belong in the goddamn ring. He doesn't. He's not any good. I don't think he is. He takes so many of these goddamn bumps. He's going to be one of those that's not going to be walking by the age of 35. He took his one stupid bump where he just fell he fell and just hit the freaking floor, which I just don't get it. I mean, I get that, wrestling is supposed to, it's like, oh, let me take all these bumps so they can be real and this kind of stuff, and, and hopefully I won't get hurt. He's the same guy that broke his goddamn leg at one point, and thankfully he recovered. I mean, I want to say that much. I was one of the few people, there were others dogging him. Even as somebody that's not a fan of him, I was like, well, holy shit, hopefully he recovers. I mean, accidents like that are going to happen, especially when you take so many stupid bumps like he has. But at least with Joey Janela, I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't think he's a very good wrestler. I don't get it with him. I just don't fucking get it. And I think that it kind of brings down the credibility of AEW. Oh, they're an alternative. Well, it's not alternative elite wrestling. It's all elite wrestling. And it's supposed to be elite talents or elite characters or this kind of stuff. And I don't think Joey Janela is either. Do I think, again, bad person? No. But just, I don't get the appeal. Let me know what you guys think of Joey Janela in the comments. Marco Stunt. Again, somebody who I'm sure is a nice guy, but just it was fucking embarrassing watching him in the ring. It was fucking embarrassing. And it really, really was. Now, is he a trained wrestler? How the fuck should I know? Why the fuck should I care? He just isn't he's not interested. He's an embarrassment. He is an embarrassment to watch in the ring. He was another one, I believe, that broke his leg at some point at some indie show. Now, thankfully, he recovered. And he's got a fan base. Okay, cool. The fan base doesn't need to come after me because I'm not saying they can't be fans, but I'm saying with Janela. Same with the next guy I'm going to fucking mention here in a bit. But Marco Stunt, that was embarrassing to watch. That was goddamn embarrassing. Oh, you need some entertainment. Well, you need to make it entertaining. And he wasn't entertaining. I'm sorry. He's just not. He's not entertaining. He's not anybody that I'm going to invest in. I've already decided, I said, no, until this guy is not in the ring anymore. If he's just a freaking, mascot for Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, who are a tremendous goddamn tag team, by the way. And I'm glad I got to see Luchasaurus live a couple times. The guy, he is fucking tremendous. And Could you believe that a guy that's in a dinosaur mask would get over like that? He's got something. They really have something with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Marco's there to be a puppet or be a mascot and everything. It's stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's dumb. I'm not going to go and try and be an astronaut just because it's my dream. So why the fuck does he get to be a wrestler? And then here we go. And this is the one that's going to get me hate, and I don't really give a fuck. I do not get the fucking appeal of Mr. Pocket Boy, Orange Cassidy. Oh, you have to make him care. You have to make him do the... This is not anything to do with the conversation that I had face to face. Myself and the Derbinator have talked about Orange Cassidy. I respect his opinion. He tolerates mine. No, I'm kidding. I kid Derb. He sees things differently, and that's cool. That's why I love doing wrestling shows with him, because he has a different view on things. But Orange Cassidy, the guy's a joke. The guy's a stupid fucking joke. Oh, he puts his hands in his pocket. You have to make him care. You have to make him do this. Oh, you know how hard it is to do stuff with your hands in your pockets? Yeah, imagine if he didn't have his hands in his pockets and he actually took it seriously. I'm sorry, that's what's fucking stupid about it. Why am I supposed to take his, fucking stupid gimmick of shades, pockets, and, hair that's thinning, and I know about thinning hair? Why am I supposed to take that seriously? And he's another one that could be a super nice guy for all I know. I'm sure he is. People have met him in indie shows. Say he's a nice guy. Great. He could be the nicest goddamn guy in the world. He shouldn't be in wrestling. He shouldn't. Saw that shit that he was doing, like, he did the dive when he still had his hands in his pockets. Okay, great. Yeah, okay, it's got to be hard to do stuff with your hands in your pockets. Why make it more difficult? Oh, it's because he's so goddamn good in the ring, or this is a character that people gravitate towards. Well, it's not my fault that people gravitate towards a gimmick I just don't get. It's not their fault either. They see things differently than I do. I just think he's a fucking joke. And I think it is fucking embarrassing to wrestling. I think all three of them are embarrassing to wrestling, however nice they actually are. Let's hire Orange Cassidy. Let's hire a guy that keeps his hands in his pockets. Let's not use that money that we're going to spend on actual people, people with talent. No, let's just do this. And could Orange Cassidy be talented? Sure. But the shin kick stuff, the fact that he just acts like he doesn't care, he's nonchalant, it's dumb. And it's dumb for the wrong reasons. I'm sorry. I just think it's fucking mind-blowingly stupid. And I hate the fact that he is on some big, he's on some big stage where if I'm Tony Khan, I'm regretting signing these three guys. They could be nice guys once again, but just let me take my, some of my, billions that I've earned, or millions or whatever, and let me spend it on a little kid with Jungle Boy's hair, but about, literally a quarter of the talent that Jungle Boy has. A guy that's, such an idiot that he likes to have cigarettes stapled to his goddamn head. And a guy that won't take his hands out of the freaking pocket like he's playing pocket pool. And if you know what pocket pool is, you know. Embarrassing. It's just, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And I know it sounds like I'm getting fired up about stuff. Yes, I'm a jaded wrestling fan. Yes, I'm probably a little too old school to enjoy some stuff about wrestling. I can appreciate comedy. I don't find either of these guys funny. I don't. I don't think what Orange Cassidy does is funny. I don't think it requires anything, other than being, quite frankly, a mild-mannered idiot. And whatever, if he's talented, he needs to actually show it. Oh, well, he will show it or everything. Oh, if you make him mad, he actually should. I just can't wrap my head around why anybody finds him appealing. But you guys do. That's cool. I'm not, once again, calming down a little bit before I get angry about something else. I'm not saying that you guys are wrong. I'm not saying that, because you guys see things differently than I do. But let me talk about something that I think we could all agree with. One, Star Trek entrance was pretty goddamn cool. That Cody, Brandy, and DDP did. DDP was pretty cool to see him. Then they brought Pharaoh. I love Pharaoh, by the way. Whether he's a real service dog, credit service dog, or not, whatever. I'm not going to hammer them like some other fucking morons have. And if you happen to be watching this, let's call out that. Let's not call out people for other issues, real issues. No, let's call out the whole thing about a service dog. Fuck. Anyway, Pharaoh is coming out. So, or the American Air entrance, and Brandy's dressed like 7 to 9, this kind of stuff. The original 7 to 9 was a lot better looking, but moving on. What I just did not understand, I think it was Jerry Ryan, Moving on. You get Pharaoh there. Well, there's Pyro and Cody's entrance. Pharaoh's spooked out of his goddamn mind. Now, Pharaoh's been at some shows. Pharaoh's still a dog. Dogs don't react well to change necessarily, even though Pharaoh is a good boy. If you've seen any of Cody's stuff or Brandy's stuff on Instagram, Pharaoh's a very good dog. He's a very vocal dog. He's a very stubborn dog, but he's a very good dog. He is the goodest boy for a reason. I hated seeing that dog scared by Pyro. I know it sounds kind of funny and maybe it sounds really stupid for me to get upset about that. And I'm not saying that Cody and Brandy are bad dog owners. I am not going to say that because they aren't. I'm sure they love that dog. Clearly they do. They shouldn't have put the dog in that goddamn position. Leave the dog with somebody in a room, make their entrance, and then come back. Brandy and DDP can talk to the dog or that kind of stuff or whatever. But they scared that dog with that goddamn Pyro. He was spooked to hell. I mean, it was uncomfortable for me. That's another reason, and I mean, Derb did say this in a review, why maybe you don't work with animals. I like seeing Pharaoh there. I'm like, I remember tweeting out, I think I tweeted out All In. I tweeted out, they brought the dog. Because I love animals. And Pharaoh is a cool dog. He's a really, really beautiful husky. But that made me very, very uncomfortable, and I was very angry at Cody and Brandy for doing that. Now, do I think they intentionally did? Absolutely not. But they had to have known how he was going to react to that. Animals are unpredictable. But the explosions, all that shit. I gotta be honest, they kind of, they don't deserve flack for being necessarily say, oh, you're the worst dog owners ever. No, they're not. But some flack maybe doesn't hurt because that was pretty stupid. And you can't tell me that you didn't feel a little bit for Pharaoh. That was pretty scary. It was pretty scary and pretty uncomfortable. Another thing, Sean Spears should have won that match. It kind of took a little steam out of his heel turn. I get why Cody won. Somebody pointed out, I believe in the comments, either in the comments or on Twitter, but they said Cody had to win to get the crowd back into it after the last two matches. I agree with that. But at the same time, had they done it in a way to have Sean Spears win, now they've just made Sean Spears seem like a joke. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson were featured in more, memorable spots there than, Sean and Cody, which I know I feel bad about saying. Two guys whose best years were about 1989. Well, Tully's in that sense. And then Arn's were, like, his best spots were till about 96, and he suffered those injuries, those unfortunate injuries. He did his spine buster. He had a whole bunch of stuff, but it was too many run-ins. It was a dusty finish. Cody did learn from his dad pretty goddamn well. And then we finish up with Jericho as champ. Is it good or bad? I understand why they made Jericho champ in this sense. As far as stars that they knew, stars that they had, they didn't have any well-known enough stars to bring in casual fans. Hangman Page wouldn't have done that. So I get why they had Jericho win. Here's the problem. If I'm going to knock WWE for doing it with Brock and doing it with Goldberg and doing it with others, I gotta knock sort of what AEW is doing with Jericho. Now Jericho will do the right thing and put somebody over, and he'll probably put over somebody like Omega. He might put over Page at some point. Pac. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Pac. He will put over somebody. But gotta be honest, it wasn't. It was something where they wrote themselves into a corner. If Jericho won, great. Okay, casuals may come in. But AEW is going to open themselves up to criticism. If Page won, he was getting booed, and it would be... I feel bad for saying a virtual unknown, even though Page is quite good. I was impressed with his performances in New Japan, especially in the G1 last year. But he's a virtual unknown, so they had to go with Jericho. Now, it just makes it seem like AEW is hypocritical because they slandered WWE, especially Jericho, slandering WWE for making Brock, Money in the Bank winner just recently. And then soon after that, if I remember right, no, wait, let's see, that was soon after that. That was soon. Was that soon after that? No, it was before that. That Jericho actually very soon after Money in the Bank, I forgot what month it took place in, got his shot at Okada. 49-year-old Chris Jericho gained a shot at Okada for the IWGP Championship. That's how you use Okada that well. I took issue with Jericho winning, though I understood it. And I apologize for my voice. Allergies are a bitch. And I'm also fired up. The thing with Jericho, if he doesn't drop the title soon, if he doesn't drop it by the next pay-per-view, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad look for AEW. They're going to seem hypocritical, and that's not a very good idea. Now we go to Hangman Page, though. So yeah, the whole thing with Jericho, I mean, I'm 50-50 on, I understand, but it smacks of hypocrisy. Hangman Page, I don't know if this push is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work, honestly. We will see what happens with Hangman Page, but they might need to cool it a bit with him. Maybe create a mid-card title, have him win that, and then build up to that. And then build up to a world title shot at some point. But really, with my opinions on All Out, that's pretty much it. I went a little bit longer on my review than I did on the review, but I wanted to just give my opinions and flesh some more stuff out, so I hope you guys understand. Please leave in the comments what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon. And oh, look, my screen protector fell off. So, bye.